right, so next we're gonna go over a very popular exercise. This is a dumbbell seated lateral raise. Okay, so whenever we do these, there's a few different ways that you can approach it. Okay, you can either be sitting upright, right, or you can find something to support your back on. I want you to kind of find what feels best on your shoulders. If it feels better to kind of lean a little further forward here, that's absolutely okay. If you feel better kind of leaning back on something, that's absolutely okay. All right. Now, whenever we do these, right, we're going to be holding our dumbbells. We're going to be raising them up, right, keeping our shoulders relaxed down, and then down we go. Okay. Something that I really want us to think about is I want you to think less about raising your hand up towards the sky and more about as you come up, you're reaching your hand out, right? So I'm reaching out, okay? Now, although we're thinking about reaching, I don't want you to bend and extend that elbow, okay? So we don't want to see bend, right? We don't want to see flexion. We don't want to see extension. We don't want to straighten, okay? We're going to find a spot where there's a small bend in our elbow. We don't want to be straight and locked, but we also don't want to be like 90 degrees. We're going to find somewhere in the middle where it's straight but not locked. That's where we stop, all right? So with that in mind, as I come up, I'm thinking about reaching, okay? Because the second that I start thinking about my hand going up, I'm gonna see some elevation in my scapula, right? This is a little exaggerated, right? Maybe it's not exaggerated. Maybe once we get super tired, this is kind of what it's looking like, right? If you find yourself doing this, relax your shoulder. Think about reaching out, right? We're reaching out with those arms, okay? So with that in mind, I'm gonna start in whatever position I feel comfortable. I'm gonna sit upright. I'm gonna have my dumbbells at my side, small bend in those elbows, right? I'm gonna raise up to the side, not directly to the side. I'm gonna kind of find a small angle forward here, right? So this would be in front of me. This would be directly at the side. I'm gonna find maybe like 45 degrees. That's where I'm gonna raise and I'm gonna reach, okay? So I'm gonna raise up about 45-ish degrees, maybe a little further back, right? I'm gonna reach as I raise up, okay? And I'm gonna come back down. Another small detail to focus on, and you might even watch yourself in the mirror, is your elbow. Try not to let your elbow face the floor, okay? We might start to feel it in the front of our shoulder. We're gonna keep our elbow almost facing up just a little bit. Like if I was holding bottles of water, I want to pour that water out drop by drop. Like drop by drop, I want to pour that water out. Like just a little bit. That's how I'm raising, right? So we don't want to be here. I want to kind of drop by drop pour that water out. That's the angle of my elbow that we're looking for. Okay, so lots to think about. So pouring that water out, arm straight. I'm reaching. Okay, I'm gonna come up either to about shoulder height, maybe just a little higher, so long as my shoulder doesn't start to raise up, and I'm gonna come back down, right? Reaching the whole time, never bending and extending that elbow. That elbow is concrete in place, and pouring that water out drop by drop. Okay, so it's gonna look a little something like this. And notice the control and the tempo of the reps. I'm not throwing it up and then coming back down. I'm up nice and controlled, small pause, back down. Up nice and controlled, small pause, back down the whole way through. So a little something like this. So I'm gonna grab my dumbbells, straighten out those arms, pour out my water, raising up. I'm reaching out to the side, back down nice and slow. Coming up, reaching, back down, reaching, 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 right? I'm not all the way out here, right? It's not very comfortable on my shoulders. Finding that small angle in front of me, reaching out, every rep. Now, whenever you're doing these, if you feel like oh, my shoulders are getting tired, but I need to get all the way up, and you start doing this, right? I'd rather you cut that rep short, and then continue. Cut that rep short and continue, okay? So with that, that's gonna be our seated dumbbell lateral raise.